Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, groggy and annoyed, only to realize that your bladder is calling again? You're not alone. Nighttime urination, or nocturia as doctors call it, affects millions of people, and understanding why it happens is the first step toward finally sleeping through the night. Many people think it's just a normal part of aging, and while age can play a role, the truth is that there are several factors at play, and most of them can be addressed. It starts with knowing your body and recognizing the patterns that lead to those frequent trips to the bathroom. One of the main reasons people wake up at night to urinate is that their bladder simply can't hold as much as it used to. As we age, the bladder's elasticity decreases, meaning it fills faster and triggers the urge to empty even when it's not full. This can be frustrating, but it's not something to ignore. Along with changes in bladder capacity, our bodies also produce more urine at night than during the day, a condition called nocturnal polyuria. This is influenced by hormones that regulate fluid balance. When these hormones are out of balance, your kidneys may produce too much urine while you sleep, creating the need for repeated bathroom visits. Understanding that your body has a rhythm and that sometimes it's not in sync can help you approach the problem strategically. Another key factor is lifestyle habits. Drinking a large glass of water, tea, or coffee right before bed might seem harmless, but it directly impacts how often you wake up. Caffeine and alcohol are especially notorious for irritating the bladder and increasing urine production, which explains why a late cup of coffee or a glass of wine can disrupt an otherwise peaceful night's sleep. Even certain foods can play a role. Spicy foods, acidic foods, and artificial sweeteners have been shown to irritate the bladder, sometimes making the urge to urinate feel urgent even when your bladder isn't full. Small changes, like limiting fluid intake a few hours before bed, can make a significant difference. Sleep patterns themselves also influence nocturia. If your sleep is light or fragmented due to stress, insomnia, or sleep apnea, your brain is more likely to respond to minor signals from your bladder. Essentially, the lighter your sleep, the more likely you are to wake up for a bathroom visit. This is why someone with sleep apnea may find themselves waking up multiple times at night, not just because of the bladder, but because the body is stressed and oxygen levels fluctuate. Improving overall sleep quality can indirectly reduce nighttime urination, and it's something that often gets overlooked when people focus only on fluid intake. Underlying health conditions can't be ignored either. Frequent nighttime urination can be a warning sign for diabetes, kidney problems, heart issues, or an enlarged prostate in men. It's essential to pay attention to other symptoms like excessive thirst, swelling in the legs, or unusual fatigue. These signs can indicate that the frequent bathroom trips are not just inconvenient, but are actually signals from your body that something needs attention. Consulting with a healthcare professional can help identify and treat these conditions early, potentially stopping nocturia before it becomes a chronic problem. Even stress and anxiety can contribute to the problem. When your mind is tense, your body responds in ways that can trigger bladder activity. Cortisol, the stress hormone, affects your body's fluid balance and can make you more sensitive to bladder signals. Relaxation techniques, mindfulness, and calming bedtime routines may sound simple, but they are surprisingly effective in reducing nighttime urination for some people. Understanding why you wake up at night to pee is not about blaming yourself. It's about awareness and taking control. By recognizing the natural changes in the bladder, the influence of fluids and foods, the impact of sleep quality, and the role of underlying health conditions, you're empowered to take actionable steps. Whether it's adjusting your evening habits, improving sleep hygiene, or seeking medical advice, awareness is the foundation of change. Once you understand the reasons behind nocturia, you can begin to tackle it strategically, night by night, and reclaim uninterrupted, restorative sleep. By addressing these factors, you're not just preventing bathroom trips. You're improving your overall health, energy, and quality of life. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to stop waking up at night to pee is by adjusting your evening habits and fluid intake. Most people don't realize just how much their nighttime routines affect their sleep and bladder health. It's not just about drinking water. It's about when, how, and what you consume in the hours leading up to bedtime. Small, mindful adjustments can make a dramatic difference and help you sleep through the night without those frustrating trips to the bathroom. First, let's talk about timing. Your body processes fluids in a rhythm, and when you drink too much close to bedtime, your kidneys have no choice but to produce more urine while you sleep. Even if you don't feel overly thirsty, sipping large amounts of water right before bed can overload your bladder. The key is to front load your fluid intake during the day, ensuring you're hydrated without pushing your body to work overtime at night. Most people find it helpful to reduce liquids about 2 to 3 hours before sleeping. That doesn't mean you should go thirsty. It's about balance and smart timing, giving your body the chance to process fluids while you're still awake. Next, caffeine and alcohol deserve special attention. Many people don't realize that a late afternoon cup of coffee, tea, or even chocolate can impact nighttime urination. Caffeine is a natural diuretic, which means it encourages your kidneys to produce more urine. Drinking it too late in the day can set up a chain reaction: more urine, more bathroom trips, and interrupted sleep. Alcohol has a similar effect, particularly beer and wine, which not only increase urine production but can also relax the bladder, making it more prone to involuntary urges. By shifting caffeine consumption to the morning or early afternoon and limiting alcohol in the evening, you're giving your bladder a fighting chance to stay quiet through the night. Another often overlooked factor is the type of fluids you consume. Sugary drinks, sodas, and artificially flavored beverages can irritate the bladder, making you more likely to wake up even if your bladder isn't full. Even certain herbal teas, while soothing, can have mild diuretic effects. Water is always the safest option, but even then, consider splitting your intake evenly throughout the day rather than gulping large amounts in the evening. A small, mindful sip if you're slightly thirsty before bed is enough for most people. It's also important to be aware of hidden sources of fluids in your evening meals. Soups, fruits like watermelon and oranges, and even some vegetables contribute to your overall fluid load. While these are healthy choices during the day, consuming them too close to bedtime can increase nighttime urination. By planning your dinner and evening snacks with awareness, you can reduce the bladder's workload during the night. Another tip is to create a mini fluid curfew routine. About an hour or two before bed, pause drinking and let your body begin winding down. Pair this with other bedtime habits, like dimming lights, limiting screen exposure, and practicing relaxation techniques. When your body receives signals that it's time to rest, not only does your mind relax, but your bladder becomes less sensitive to minor urges. Over time, this trains your body to associate nighttime with uninterrupted sleep, reducing the frequency of bathroom trips. Finally, remember that consistency is key. Adjusting your evening habits is not about a single night of effort. It's about establishing a routine that your body recognizes. When you consistently limit fluids at the right time, avoid bladder irritants, and maintain a calming pre-sleep routine, your bladder adapts. You'll notice fewer nighttime awakenings, deeper sleep, and more energy the next day. The power of simple habits cannot be overstated. Often, the solution to waking up at night isn't a complex treatment or expensive supplement. It's a thoughtful adjustment of your evening routine. By managing your fluid intake, avoiding stimulants and irritants, and giving your body the signals it needs to relax, you can reclaim your nights, your rest, and your health. Taking control of your evening habits is one of the fastest ways to see results. When done consistently, you'll notice the difference almost immediately, and your nights will become peaceful again. What you eat has a bigger impact on nighttime urination than most people realize. Optimizing your diet for bladder health is one of the most powerful tools you have to stop waking up to pee at night. It's not about strict restrictions or complicated meal plans. It's about understanding which foods support your bladder, which irritate it, and how small changes can lead to big improvements in sleep quality. First, let's talk about bladder-friendly foods. Foods rich in potassium, like bananas, sweet potatoes, and spinach, help regulate fluid balance in your body. Potassium works with sodium to maintain proper hydration and reduces excess fluid retention that can overload your bladder at night. Magnesium-rich foods, such as almonds, pumpkin seeds, and leafy greens, also support muscle function, including the muscles in your bladder and pelvic floor, helping prevent sudden urges. Adding anti-inflammatory foods like fatty fish, berries, and turmeric can reduce irritation in the urinary tract, which is especially important for people who feel a constant need to urinate even when their bladder isn't full. On the other hand, certain foods can irritate the bladder and increase the likelihood of nighttime trips. Acidic foods, like tomatoes and citrus fruits, may aggravate the bladder lining, while spicy foods can trigger urgency or discomfort. Artificial sweeteners and highly processed foods may also contribute to bladder irritation. Even though these foods might seem harmless during the day, consuming them in the evening can disrupt sleep by making your bladder more sensitive and reactive. Awareness of these triggers is crucial because often the cause of nocturia is not fluid intake alone. It's what accompanies that fluid. Hydration timing also interacts closely with diet. Foods with high water content, like watermelon, cucumbers, and soups, can increase urine production if eaten too close to bedtime. That doesn't mean you should avoid them entirely. They're healthy and hydrating, but consider shifting their consumption to earlier in the day. Eating heavier, high-water foods earlier allows your body to process fluids before sleep, reducing the bladder's workload at night. Incorporating fiber-rich foods, like whole grains, lentils, and vegetables, can also indirectly help. Constipation can put pressure on the bladder, making it more sensitive and increasing nighttime urination. By maintaining regular bowel movements, fiber reduces this pressure, allowing the bladder to function more normally. It's a simple adjustment, but one that can have a surprisingly significant effect on how often you wake up at night. Another strategy is to pair meals with mindful beverage choices. Drinking plain water or herbal teas earlier in the evening is ideal, while avoiding coffee, caffeinated teas, or carbonated drinks close to bedtime. Certain herbal teas, like chamomile or peppermint, can be soothing for the digestive system and bladder, promoting relaxation without triggering extra urine production. Paying attention to the timing of both food and drink helps create a harmonious environment for your bladder at night. Meal size matters as well. Large, heavy dinners increase the body's metabolic activity while you sleep, which can indirectly stimulate the bladder. A lighter, balanced dinner a few hours before bed not only supports digestion, but also prevents unnecessary nighttime awakenings. Combining protein with complex carbohydrates and healthy fats ensures satiety without overloading your system. Finally, consistency and observation are key. Everyone's body responds differently, so it's important to notice which foods make your bladder more sensitive and which support uninterrupted sleep. Keep a simple food log for a week or two, noting what you eat and how often you wake up at night. Over time, patterns will emerge, guiding you to the best diet for your personal bladder health. Optimizing your diet isn't just about reducing nighttime bathroom trips. It's about supporting your overall urinary health, improving sleep quality, and giving your body the nutrients it needs to function efficiently. By making conscious food choices, timing your meals wisely, and avoiding bladder irritants, you can take control of nocturia naturally. The result is deeper sleep, more energy during the day, and a renewed sense of control over your health. Strengthening your bladder and pelvic muscles is one of the most effective ways to stop waking up at night to pee. And the good news is that it doesn't require medication or complicated treatments. Our bladder and the surrounding pelvic muscles work together like a team. When these muscles are strong and coordinated, they help control the urge to urinate, allowing you to sleep longer and more peacefully. Weak or untrained muscles, on the other hand, can make even a partially full bladder feel urgent, leading to those frustrating nighttime trips. The key is building strength, endurance, and awareness of these muscles through simple, consistent exercises that anyone can do at home. The most well-known exercises for bladder control are Kegels. Kegel exercises involve contracting and releasing the pelvic floor muscles, the same muscles you use to stop the flow of urine midstream. The idea is simple. By practicing these contractions regularly, you improve the strength and tone of the muscles that support the bladder and urethra. Strong pelvic muscles help prevent sudden urges, reduce leaks, and give you more control over when you go. Even just a few minutes a day can produce noticeable results over time, making nighttime awakenings less frequent. To do Kegels effectively, it's important to locate the right muscles first. Many people confuse abdominal or leg muscles with the pelvic floor. One way to identify them is to try stopping your urine midstream while using the bathroom. The muscles you engage during that pause are the ones you want to train. Once you know them, practice contracting these muscles for about 5 seconds, then relax for 5 seconds. Repeat this cycle 10 times, 2 to 3 times a day. Over weeks, gradually increase the duration of contractions and the number of repetitions. Consistency is far more important than intensity, and it's best to make it a daily habit. Beyond Kegels, other exercises can support bladder health indirectly. Core strengthening movements, like gentle abdominal exercises, yoga poses, and even simple stretches, engage the pelvic floor and improve overall muscle coordination. Activities that improve posture and strengthen the lower back also contribute to bladder control by supporting proper alignment and reducing pressure on the bladder. The goal is to create a supportive network of muscles that work together efficiently. It's not just about strength, but also about endurance. During the night, when your body is relaxed and sleepy, your muscles naturally lose some tension. By training the pelvic floor to maintain tone for longer periods, you reduce the likelihood that a partially full bladder will trigger an urgent wake-up. Think of it as building a natural sleep shield for your bladder, muscles that hold and support quietly while you rest, giving you uninterrupted sleep. Another important aspect is awareness and control. Many people respond automatically to the slightest bladder signal, rushing to the bathroom even when it isn't necessary. By combining pelvic floor exercises with mindfulness, you can train yourself to pause, contract the muscles, and assess whether your bladder truly needs emptying. Over time, this habit reinforces bladder control and reduces overactivity. It's also worth noting that strengthening the bladder and pelvic muscles can have benefits beyond sleep. Daytime urgency, occasional leaks, and weak bladder control can all improve, leading to a greater sense of confidence and comfort in daily life. For men, these exercises can support prostate health and reduce pressure-related issues, while women often see improved bladder function after childbirth or during menopause. The most important takeaway is that this is a skill and a habit. Just like training any other muscle in your body, the results come from consistency, patience, and correct technique. Even a few minutes a day can dramatically reduce nighttime urination, and over the course of weeks, your body will adapt. The bladder becomes more resilient, the pelvic muscle stronger, and your sleep deeper and more restorative. By committing to daily pelvic floor training and combining it with awareness of your bladder signals, you're giving yourself the tools to reclaim your nights. You're not just reducing trips to the bathroom. You're building a foundation of control, strength, and confidence that improves your overall quality of life. Sometimes, waking up at night to urinate is more than just a habit or lifestyle issue. It can be a signal from your body that something deeper is going on. That's why it's so important to check for hidden health conditions that might be contributing to frequent nighttime bathroom trips. Many people ignore these signs, thinking they are just part of getting older, but paying attention can make a huge difference in both your sleep and your overall health. One of the most common hidden conditions is diabetes. High blood sugar causes your kidneys to work overtime, drawing excess water from your body and producing more urine. This can lead to waking up multiple times during the night, often accompanied by excessive thirst. If you notice persistent nocturia along with symptoms like dry mouth, unusual fatigue, or unexplained weight loss, it may be time to check your blood sugar. Early detection can prevent complications and make it much easier to manage both your bladder and overall health. Kidney function is another important factor. The kidneys filter waste from the blood and regulate fluid balance, and when they aren't functioning optimally, it can disrupt normal urine production. People with kidney issues may notice more frequent urination at night or changes in the color, odor, or volume of urine. Routine checkups, including blood tests and urinalysis, can detect kidney problems early. Addressing them promptly not only reduces nighttime trips, but also protects your long-term health. For men, an enlarged prostate is a common contributor to nocturia. As the prostate grows, it can press against the urethra, making it harder for the bladder to empty fully. This creates a sensation of urgency, even when the bladder isn't full, and leads to repeated nighttime awakenings. Men who notice difficulty starting urination, weak streams, or incomplete emptying should speak with a healthcare professional. Treatments for an enlarged prostate range from lifestyle adjustments and medications too. In some cases, minimally invasive procedures, all aimed at improving bladder